I'm Olorunda Benjamin. I am one of the executive directors of the Community Advancement Initiative for Self-Reliance, CAI4SR, and I can say that I've been part of the journey from inception till date. And God has been helping us, and we are moving from levels to levels. The project that was funded by the Leprosy Mission Nigeria, that has to do with enhancing access of children and young persons with disabilities to mainstream education, was conceived basically to ensure that any person with disability is able to make a choice about where he or she will want to go to school. We are trying to work against a situation where people will be forced to go to schools for persons with disabilities, like the School for Special Needs at Olorunda. So when we came up with this idea, we thought it would be better for them to be able to make up their minds. And so we approached, we were supported by the Leprosy Mission Nigeria. And the idea behind this project is actually to ensure that the school environment is made accessible. The teaching and learning environment in some schools in 2 local government areas of Osun State, they are made accessible. And what we did was to, conduct a disability assessment audit. Okay, so we approached Leprosy Mission Nigeria and Lillian Fund. So we engaged a consultant who went around and was able to do mapping. So with that support from Leprosy Mission Nigeria and Lillian Fund, we were able to reconstruct toilets at Anthony Udofia Primary School and also L. Adenle Grammar School, to ensure that a wheelchair user will be able to access these toilets without any assistance. And we also constructed ramps in all the schools. I mean, we are working in 5 schools. St. Michael Primary School, Gowande. We are working at Anthony Udofia Primary School, and we're working at Adenle, L. Adenle, and University of Osun, and one other school like that, 5 schools. So we were able to make ramps in all those schools, so any person with disability will be able to access these schools without stress. And we thank God that at least all these projects are they are well completed. And in addition to that, at Anthony Udofia Primary School, we were able to do something like audiovisual resource center. Though that school, by the way it was constructed, it was disability compliant to an extent, but we now supported them by bringing an app that could translate voice to text for a deaf person or a person that has a hearing disability. So we were able to do that with a screen, a television, and we provided internet subscription for 1 year to that school to enable them to be able to do that. So in addition to that, we observed that one of the challenges that persons with disabilities they have has to do with attitude, the way people relate. People discriminate against them. So we decided to train the school community. Specifically, we trained some teachers, about 45 teachers, in the schools, and we trained them on disability appreciation and how to conduct simple disability assessment to know if a child needs further support, maybe for further examination. So we trained the teachers, and what they did was to go to their various schools and screen the students of any disability. So the teachers were screened, and we also discovered that even the children, the students among themselves, the students and the pupils, they also discriminate against those with disabilities. So we decided to train these young people too, and we formed them into what do I call it, peer educators. That means they educate their colleagues. So some of them that are very old school in that, they appear on their assembly ground and they talk about disability and the need for people to embrace them, not to discriminate against them. So this has actually, to a large extent, altered the way things are in those schools. Most of the people in those, most of those with disability in those schools, they now enjoy the support of others. However, we cannot say we do have challenges. There are challenges as far as this project is concerned, because Such project requires time for people to have a change of heart. So we went on radio. We're having a radio program where we are also sensitizing people about disability, and they need to embrace them, and also to target policymakers on the need to pass the state disability bill. Kaya has been one of the front players as far as the advocacy towards the passage of the disability bill is concerned, and we are making progress, but at a very reduced rate. And coupled with the fact that the change in government, we don't know the implication of this on our efforts so far. The essence of that is to ensure that the disability bill is passed into law. I mean, it was passed as an act in 2019 in Nigeria, but now we want to domesticate it in Osun State, which will ensure that every facility, every public facility is made accessible to those with disabilities. So this intervention will just be at the level of implementation if that bill is passed into law. So that is just what we have been able to accomplish as far as this project is concerned. Well, having said that, and we know there are challenges, and we are just like Oliver Twist. We always keep asking for more because the needs are so, they are plenteous. We have so many things that are begging for attention. Demands are coming from left, right, and center, and we do not have the required fund. But what we have been able to do is that the support from the Leprosy Mission Nigeria and Lillian Fund has really opened the eyes of the people to what is going on. However, we need further support, sincerely. For example, we are still advocating for some of the students to go and enroll in those schools. We are making progress gradually, though very slow. And our meeting with some of the stakeholders revealed that that kind of intervention is not something that you expect, that will have that, the bigger picture will be reached like that. So we still need further support, most especially to continue to support making some of this facility accessible, to come to engage with parents, because some of the parents, they just abandon their children at home. But by the time we do more of that, you will see them bringing their children to these schools. And we are also raising awareness about the schools, that these schools have been made accessible to those with disabilities. So we believe that with further support, we'll be able to do more. And another thing is that transport accessibility is another major challenge. Transport, getting them to school, because you see somebody that doesn't have a wheelchair, that the mother will have to back, is not an easy thing. So we need support in terms of disability assistive devices, like wheelchairs, like we need maybe some that have maybe hearing disability, so that they can be able to at least maybe hearing aid. And at the same time, to continue our advocacy, especially policy level advocacy, because that is very, very crucial for government to take up their responsibilities. Whatever we are doing is just a microscopic aspect of the whole stuff. Government is the government that is responsible for ensuring that everybody in society is included. So we need to intensify efforts as far as our advocacy is concerned, and we will need further support. So we are calling on TLM and LF to please support us further, and other international donors that are working to support the inclusion of persons with disabilities. And with your support, we can achieve much more. Thank you, and God bless you.